Hey guys, another video for our Wheels in Japan playlist. We do see some crazy drivers in Japan. We've showed you some before. Here's a few more. Mr. Prius here driving about a metre from the car in front of him on a wet, slippery road. Obviously, if for any reason that car in front had to stop, Mr. Prius would be right into the back of him. As you can see by him having to use the brakes on a road like this means he's obviously way too close. You do get it. It's not quite as common as you might experience it in other countries. People here are usually not aggressive and are usually quite polite drivers and let other people have a bit of space, as we've showed you before. But obviously there's always a hole in amongst the crowd, and now and again you'll experience them on the road like this guy. You see he's braking quite a lot there to try and not run into the back of the guy in front. Whoa, here we go, you know. Crazy. So anyway, there was that. And then of course the truck drivers, as we've showed you before, the truck drivers are some of the worst drivers in Japan. And there's a very, very heavy truck, very heavily loaded up, and driving way too close to that car in front. Of course he couldn't have stopped if he'd wanted to. Big black car there doing the same thing. So you do get them. Probably not as many as you do in some other countries, but you do get them. Here's a lack of respect for the pedestrian crossing. We've showed you this before. Guy coming off the footpath across the pedestrian crossing and onto the road, and that's really common. They seem to think the pedestrian crossing's okay to use as a road. Funny buggers. Anyway, and there's a rural example of that. This guy seems to think it's legal for him to drive his tractor across the crossing straight onto the footpath. And this is actually right down the road from a school. So that road often has kids walking on it. That footpath often has kids walking on it. The old guy seems to think this is the best strategy. Obviously it's not. He's not supposed to drive it on the footpath. But anyway, speaking of old guys, this guy's got the old guy sticker on the back of his car. And just don't know what he tried to do here. That corner has to be taken really wide, because obviously it's a kickback, goes back, straight back on itself, so you've got to go really wide to get around that corner, but he hadn't, obviously. And this one we thought was drunk. She was all over it. She was over left, over the right. We've speeded her up just so you can see, but she was right over to the left, almost hitting the guardrail, and then over on the right, almost hitting oncoming traffic, all over the place, and we thought she might have been drunk. And then we got to the traffic lights and we could see what she was doing. She's reading a book. So we'd been behind her for about 15 minutes and kept thinking, oh, she's going to hit the guardrail. Oh, she's going to hit the ongoing traffic. She was really, really all over the place, really dangerous, and she'd save herself at the last minute, just like a drunk driver. She really looked like a drunk driver. And then we got up, we found, no, she's reading a book. And you can see now we've got a green light, we're going now. She's still reading the book. So we showed you recently on Facebook a picture of a guy using his phone and drinking a coffee while he drove the car. Reading the book takes it to a different level, doesn't it? Anyway, there it was. Some crazies in Japan. More videos coming soon.